Ever get that feeling like you bought a lure, right?
Yeah.
Because some big time pro swore by it, you know?
Yeah.
And then you get it out on the water, dot and dot crickets.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Turns out we're diving into that very thing today, that whole disconnect between the fishing gear that gets pushed and what actually, performs.
Right, right.
We're going deep on Japanese saltwater fishing this time.
Okay.
And this text we've got Tournament Pro. It's a pretty raw look at how this whole pro fishing scene really works.
Yeah, and this pro angler who wrote it, they're not really sugarcoating anything. They lay out this vision, almost like a dream, for how it should be. Like, imagine if tournament results were all that mattered.
So the best gear is just like immediately obvious.
Exactly. The stuff that's proven, not just, marketed really well.
So the best anglers are actually rewarded for their skill, not just their, Instagram following or whatever.
Exactly. And we, the everyday anglers, we benefit too because we know it actually works.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But it's not really like that, is it?
It's a nice thought, but this author, they're deep in it. And they point out a lot of Japanese pros, they're stuck in this system where I don't know how else to put it, they're media pros.
Huh. So it's more about selling than actually fishing.
In a way, yeah. They're always in magazines giving talks. Basically, they're professional salespeople for the gear companies.
Right, right. Makes you wonder how hard that fancy new gear they're actually using when they fish tournaments.
That's the thing. And that's where this analogy the author makes really resonated with me. They compare fishing knowledge to software.
Okay.
And the actual physical gear. That's the hardware. Like, remember back in the day when those PCs first came out?
Yeah.
Software was practically free, right? Because they just wanted to sell you the computer itself.
Okay. Yeah, I can see where you're going with this.
This author is saying fishing expertise, knowing what to do and when that's the real value, the software.
Mm-hmm.
But getting people to pay for that, for knowledge, that's a tough sell.
It's like, who do you think you are?
Especially in Japan, right? There's this whole culture of sharing information, helping each other out. So trying to sell fishing techniques, it goes against the grain,
Yeah, it's interesting how different cultures approach that kind of thing. Like, is it okay to profit from your knowledge, or should it be shared freely? It's a tricky one.
And then you throw in the whole digital age thing, makes it even more complicated. This Tournament Pro text, it mentions how easy it is to copy lures these days. Techniques, too. They're all over the internet. It's almost like everyone's got the same software, but
not everyone knows how to actually use it.
Exactly. So how do you reward the people who put in the time, the real experts, without going against this whole idea of sharing in the fishing community? This author, they suggest maybe a separate brand for gear that's actually been proven in tournaments,
So you'd know, okay, this stuff actually works. It's not just hype. That'd be pretty cool, actually. But I don't know. Could you ever fully get away from that? People trusting the brand, the marketing, all that.
It's a good question. Honestly, what really got me thinking is this. If we're saying that fishing knowledge, the know-how, is the valuable software here, how do we make sure it's shared in a way that respects that value?
Yeah, because years of trial and error figuring out what works, that's got to be worth something, right?
Right. But also, how do we do it in a way that respects the community? That open sharing that's always been a part of fishing. It's a tough one, right?
It really is. I mean, you want to reward the anglers who really honed their craft, but you also don't want to shut out beginners or make it impossible to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's like finding that balance between, I don't know, guarding all the secrets and just giving everything away. It's something to think about, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Next time you're out there hoping for a bite, think about that.